There is something fishy about Canada's latest job report. And today we're doing a deep dive because on paper, headlines are telling us that Canada added 54,000 jobs in a perplexing labor report. Unemployment fell to 6.5%, and headlines are calling this a surprisingly strong labor market. But when you actually open up the report, nothing really lines up. Total hours worked barely moved. Full-time jobs fell. Retail collapsed at a time of year when we usually see seasonal hiring for retail. Youth employment carried almost the entire jobs print, which I'm not complaining about, by the way. Healthcare job growth shows up as private sector employment, even though it's technically publicly funded, which is an important key point that I think a lot of people always miss with these StatCan reports. Better Dwelling found that we may have actually lost 8,000 real jobs. Ben Rabideau showed that payroll data contradicts the headline, and we're actually seeing one of the biggest gaps between payroll and the LFS or labor force survey. And I'm going to get into why the labor force survey is sometimes, if not often, inaccurate and almost always revised. Public sector share of total employment is near a 25-year high, and public sector productivity has seen no growth in 25 years. And yet the Canada 5-year bond yield jumped up and continued to climb after this, reacting like the report is perfectly clean and accurate. And the Canadian dollar behaved similarly, although maybe in its performance against the US, this could be more in relation to the US losing a bunch of jobs with private payrolls unexpectedly declined in November. And the only way to check this is really if you check the Canadian dollar against a handful of other currencies, and the CAD actually went up against more than just the USD. So both the bond market and currency markets are telling us that they bought this print, right? They bet the jobs report is legitimate. And this matters to me because every time I post something about jobs, I try and be unbiased, and people are always like, they're either like, if if the jobs reports are bad, they're like, oh, well, obviously it's bad because the economy's suffering and, they politicize it and whatever. And then if it's good, they're like, oh, the data must be fake. It's like, we'll pick one, right? Do you trust it? You trust it to the downside, but you don't to the upside. And I'm going to talk about why LFS is kind of inaccurate, but why I don't think if I was the current government, I would be lying to the upside about jobs.